Through the X-Men and their school, Professor X dedicated his life to building a world where mutants and humans could live together in peace. However, Cassandra Nova turned her twin brother's dreams into true nightmares. By killing millions of mutants on Genosha Island and publicly revealing Charles Xavier's secrets, Nova quickly established herself as one of the X-Men's most powerful and dangerous villains. From devastating the alien Shi'ar Empire to creating microscopic sentinels and bringing Earth to the brink of all-out war, he was a being who reveled in cruelty and chaos. Cassandra Nova, Professor X's evil twin sister, debuted in New X-Men number 114. Despite her human appearance, Nova is a mummudrai, a psychic parasite from Shi'ar mythology that acts as a person's dark reflection. When Xavier was in the womb, Nova used her immense latent power to create a body for herself from her brother's DNA. Sensing her innate evil, Xavier fought Nova and defeated her in the womb, cementing her obsession with getting revenge on him. Her body was discarded, but Cassandra in fact survived and spent the next decades as a growing mass of cells in a sewer, building a new body for herself and plotting her revenge against her brother. Since she copied Xavier's genetic code, Cassandra Nova possesses immense telepathic and telekinetic power compared to her brothers, making her one of the most powerful psychics in the universe. She has been able to use her powers in ways her brother has never been able to, even surpassing great telepaths like Emma Frost, Rachel Summers, Jean Grey and Xavier himself. Nova also has access to her signature mummudrai DNA manipulation powers, which allow her to duplicate or alter the genetic codes of others. With those powers, Nova can change her molecules to pass through solid matter and can break down the DNA of others at a molecular level. Cassandra Nova was introduced to the Marvel Universe, killing 16 million mutants. After imitating the DNA of a descendant of the Sentinel's creator, Bolivar Trask. Using her DNA, the villainess took control of several self-destructing Sentinels built from the remains of an abandoned master mold. After mentally attacking Professor X, Nova sent his Sentinels to wipe out the mutant nation of Genosha. She was subsequently confronted by Cyclops and Wolverine and taken back to the Xavier Institute, where she infected the X-Men with microscopic nano-sentinels that attacked the mutants on a cellular level. Once free at the hero's headquarters, Nova used Cerebra, an enhanced version of Cerebro, to swap minds with Professor X. Emma Frost, one of the only survivors of the Genoshan massacre, broke Nova's neck without realizing that Xavier's mind was in her body. Before Professor X could explain, Nova shot his former body 6 times. While posing as Xavier, Nova revealed on national television that Charles Xavier was a mutant, which had been a secret for years. When Bestia began investigating Nova's body, she realized she had a connection to Xavier. However, before he could tell his companions, Nova telepathically attacked him and forced young Beak, one of the Academy's students, to beat him unconscious with a baseball bat. After causing chaos on Earth, Cassandra Nova turned her attention to the Shi'ar Empire. Still posing as Professor once Beast recovered, he told the X-Men that Xavier was trapped in Nova's body. Emma Frost and Jean Grey went on a mission to the Psychic Plane Realm to save the Professor, where they also learned Nova's origin. Not long after, Hank discovered that the villainess had infected his friends with nano-sentinels, so he asked Zorn for help in removing them from his system. After driving Lilandra insane and forcing her to attack other Shi'ar, Nova manipulated her into ordering the Shi'ar Imperial Guard to kill all mutants on Earth. Although the X-Men helped the Imperial Guard realize Nova's deception before the situation escalated, Nova used Cerebra to attempt to eliminate all the mutants. However, Grey had placed a small part of Professor X's mind into every mutant on Earth, allowing Xavier to reassemble his mind and expel Nova from his body. Frost tricked Nova into possessing the body of Stuff, a shape-shifting artificial alien life form. With her mind reduced to an infantile state, the mutant telepaths trapped Nova in an endless psychic re-education program. Although Cassandra Nova was not an active physical threat, she continued to torment the X-Men. While the genocide on Genosha made her an existential threat to most of the world's mutants, her memory haunted Xavier on a personal level by playing on his guilt and representing the darkness within him. Just as she was transferred to Stuff, Nova also placed a post-hypnotic suggestion deep in the White Queen's mind, which convinced her that she was a sleeper agent of the Hellfire Club sent to destroy the X-Men. Playing on Emma's guilt after surviving the Genosha massacre, Nova managed to manipulate her into creating a new incarnation of the Hellfire Club consisting of Negasonic Teenage Warhead and Sebastian Shaw. This version of the Hellfire Club lay on the psychic plane, and with its help, Frost tortured his teammates by reducing Beast to a savage state, caused Cyclops and Kitty Pryde's powers to fail, and turned Wolverine into his teenage version James Howlett. The villainess tried to use Kitty to free her from inside stuff. Luckily, the X-Men managed to recover, purging Nova from Emma's mind and preventing her from claiming a new body. Cassandra Nova eventually escaped her mental prison and attacked Jean Grey, as well as her new X-Men team. Having survived by jumping from one form to another, Nova killed an ambassador to the United Nations while Grey was giving a speech proposing a mutant nation and greater protections for his species. After taking control of the Forge, Nova created new nano-sentinels that caused any infected person to violently attack the mutants. Nova then attempted to release swarms of her little sentinels across the world infecting Storm and Teen Abomination. However, Trinary, a mutant who controls the technology, was able to destroy all the Sentinites with the help of his teammates. After a failed attempt to turn Rachel Summers against the X-Men, Cassandra Nova attempted to incite Grey and his allies into open war by seizing several planes and a helicharger. With the help of Iron Man, the X-Men churned out numerous copies of Magneto's helmet, complete with the original's ability to block telepathy. After widely distributing the helmets, Jean's X-Men and the Avengers teamed up to stop Nova. When the fight ended, Grey injected Nova with a nano-sentinel that made her feel empathy and regret for the first time in her life. When the world's mutants united to form the nation of Krakoa, Cassandra Nova joined them as one of several villains who accepted the immunity the island offered. Despite that, the Genoshan genocide still cast a long shadow for mutants like Emma Frost and Kitty Pryde, who lost her father in the attack. Still, they allowed Nova to join the Marauders, a rescue group tasked with searching for mutants around the world. During a mission in the distant past, the Marauders encountered a race of ancient mutants known as the Umbral, who were generated from the genetic material of dead Genoshans sent to the past. As part of a war, the Umbral created Sublime and Archaea, two strains of sentient bacteria that would eventually attack the X-Men and doom the world in a future timeline. Although Nova Mind wiped Sublime and Archaea on behalf of the Marauders, Kitty decided to abandon her in the past, where she witnessed a mass extinction event that wiped out most of the Threshold. After Pryde took revenge, the other mutants used the genetic material recovered from Genosha to revive everyone who died due to Cassandra's attack using Krakoa's resurrection protocols. Being the literal antithesis of Charles Xavier, Cassandra Nova represented everything he opposed. She was sadistic, cruel, genocidal, but also primarily vengeful, as she had destroyed Genosha, caused chaos within the Shi'ar Empire, and created the Nano-Sentinels as a twisted form of revenge against her brother, who attempted to kill her while they were still in power. The Uterus. Nova was trapped in the past and lies there to this day. However, he has already shown himself capable of breaking out of various prisons in order to take revenge on the X-Men, and this may not be the exception. Only time will tell us if Cassandra Nova will remain an ally or return to being an enemy to mutants once she returns.